Weekly new series from the Sanhedrin initiative. So today I'm here with Yosef, with dear Rabbi Yosef Edery. And first give us a little introduction, who you are and what has driven you to create the Sanhedrin initiative or to work within it. I think you're the main part that keeps all together, so please give us a little introduction, how it all started.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for having me. Alex, I know you bring up very nice different guests onto your show here on Israel Report. How's it go? Holy Land Reports. Holy Land Reports. So when I was young, I grew up Orthodox, ultra-Orthodox. The Torah meant a lot to me. To my father specifically, my father made a very important impact on me and showed me that a Torah contract or a Torah deal or a Torah community has to respect the Torah first and then the laws of the governments or the countries second. So my father always reminded us, whether we went to go visit on business trips, we went throughout America or whatever we did, to always keep the Torah first, to make sure we have kosher food, we never travel on Shabbos, all the good stuff. And of course this together with the education in school. Baruch Hashem, we grew up in Crown Heights with the 770 in the Rebbe's shul, so
New York, right?
In New York. So for us to be in the Rebbe's community was a big impact as well. But specifically for me, I read as a young kid the Holocaust diaries. I read the troubles that the Jewish people went through, and I realized that the Geula that the Rebbe was pushing was not just because he's Jewish. It was because he saw what happens when the Jewish people forget their mission and their purpose and their goal.
Yes.
So, in the context of trying to understand the Rebbe's words and really going into the halacha, the legality in Jewish law of how to bring Mashiach, it became very clear to me that without a Sanhedrin, a body that can officially clarify specific halachic questions that are connected to all of Am Yisrael, we cannot move on to crowning a king, eradicating Amalek, or building the temple. So we needed to build the Sanhedrin so that there's justice, truth, and then we can have peace, like we said, din, emes, and then shalom.
Okay, give me a second. So, Yosef ist in New York aufgewachsen, in einem orthodoxen Haushalt. Und er wurde maßgeblich beeinflusst von seinem Vater, der ihn immer gepusht hat, die Tora zu halten. Natürlich auch in seiner Schule und in der 70-70-Synagoge vom Rebbe. Und deswegen, der Rebbe hat gesagt, dass es wichtig ist, dass das jüdische Volk nicht seine Wurzeln verliert und seine Mission. So, und daraus ist halt auch die Notwendigkeit entstanden, überhaupt erstmal für ein Sanhedrin, der auf den 3 Grundsätzen basiert: Wahrheit, Frieden, Truth, Peace and Justice, Gerechtigkeit.
Justice first, Truth second, and Peace third.
Okay, also die Reihenfolge ist wichtig: Gerechtigkeit, Wahrheit, Frieden.
Yes. So, yeah, you want to have a question or?
No, it's
okay.
It's clear.
So, because if there's no justice and there's no truth, then we cannot have peace, because the unresolved issues will bubble up again and destroy the peace. So this is why justice, according to the, or we say Torah, Avodah, and Gemilut Chasadim. Torah, Avodah is the service in the temple or prayer, and Gemilut Chasadim is charity and things like this, or peace. So first we need to have the justice. This is the backbone of everything. And of course we know that even if you have a court that gives justice based on the Torah, but not because Hashem said so, it is prone to corruption. But the Sanhedrin had to be a group of judges and advisors that are doing it for the sake of Hashem, for the sake of heaven, and they're also well versed in the Torah, and therefore, and that's different, and that's why they're not prone to the corruption that we see in the ganze Welt, in the whole world.
Also die Reihenfolge ist daher wichtig, dass man braucht immer erst Gerechtigkeit und auch Wahrheit, weil ohne Gerechtigkeit und Wahrheit gibt es keinen Frieden. So, und selbst wenn man zum Beispiel in einem säkulären Gericht Gerechtigkeit hat, kann das sehr schnell zu Korruption verfallen, so wie wir das heute eigentlich in der ganzen Welt sehen. Also eigentlich gibt es nowhere in the world, I would say today, there's real justice.
No, so, unfortunately.
Yes. Und der Sanhedrin, die machen das halt für Gott, for the sake of heaven. I don't know what.
Yeah, for a purpose that is higher than our existence.
Ja. Also für einen höheren Zweck.
Yeah, because if we do it because we understand, because we verstand, then when we verstehen nicht, or it's not worth it for us, so then we break the rules.
Yes.
But if we do it for a higher purpose, because Hashem said so, which Hashem is the master of the universe,
yes.
So then even if it's not worth it for us this time to do it, we still do it anyway because it's the right thing to do, which is higher than our personal selfish existence.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know, whatever. Have any questions?
Yes, so thank you for the introduction. So now I would like to know, there was a former Sanhedrin, or at least an initiative to build the Sanhedrin. I know you were involved, kind of, and now you're doing like your own thing. So what can you explain us what happened?
Yes, so Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz, of blessed memory, Zichrono Levarcha, he started the Sanhedrin about some 18 years ago. There was a big initiative some 20 years ago.
Yes.
This has included people like Rabbi Bar Chaim, Rabbi Tzvi Idan, which is currently part of our Sanhedrin initiative. So there's a direct chain in this push. Of course, there were some issues because of some of the guys not getting along, some of the guys not really understanding what it needs to be done, how serious it needs to be, the weight, of this. So we are building on what they have done. I've been in touch with the rabbis from the earlier Sanhedrin. Some of them, like Rabbi Tzvi Idan, are part of our initiative. So we are trying our best to do this. The establishment of the Sanhedrin has been something that throughout the Jewish history has been done hundreds of times. Okay, since the Sanhedrin has fallen. And what's different about what we're doing is that we're really trying to we're taking the long-term strategy. We're not rushing in. We're working very hard on quality. We're working every single rabbi that we meet, every single connection that we make, whether it's the advisors from the nations or whether it's the rabbis in the Sanhedrin itself, is very, very particularly picked out, and we try very, very hard to make sure the quality is there. And of course, with every time we have a conference, we, Baruch Hashem, have seen more advisors, more judges added each time. Even the last conference that we only had one visitor, we got the community from India to join us, and we're very happy about Gadi joining the Sanhedrin Advisory Board with the hundreds of families that he is teaching Torah to in India. So, Hashem sometimes knows that out of 1,000 people in a conference, one guy is going to take you seriously. So why not just send the guy that's going to take you seriously? That's how the Rebbe one time said this to a shliach. He said the shliach was very embarrassed that nobody came to one of his events. Mm-hmm. So the Rebbe said, because if one guy comes, it's worse than if nobody comes, because now you have one guy that came and he knows that nobody came. But the Rebbe said, don't look at it like that. Look at it in a positive way, that Hashem sent you the one who actually matters. So this is during the war, of course. We could have had a different turnout, but it's okay. So we're working very hard on quality. We're working very hard on achdut, on unity. Mm-hmm. So, and we're working very, very hard to take the long process and to build a system that will be in place even when we're not, for the future generations.
Yes.
So we're building the infrastructure for everything, including a catalog of all the rabbis that are ready to be advertised on our website, on MN Global, so everyone can see who's who and what. And we're really trying to do this in a slow but steady way, and we have a very good plan, and we have, Baruch Hashem, very good team, the advisors and the Efi Nation and all the Bet Israel International and all the guys, Rabbi Sherky, and Baruch Hashem, we have a very, very good team, and we've been at the Knesset, as you guys know, we're doing good things.
Yes. Also es gab mehrere Versuche in den letzten wahrscheinlich 1000 years to establish the Sanhedrin, 1000 years, 400 years?
A few hundred years.
400 years, also vor einigen 100 Jahren. Es gab mehrere Versuche, den Sanhedrin wieder aufzubauen. Und die letzte Initiative war vor ungefähr 18 bis 20 Jahren unter der Leitung von Rabbi Steinsalz, der vor, ich glaube, 2 Jahren verstorben ist. Und der wesentliche Grund, warum der damalige oder die Initiative damals gescheitert ist, war, dass viele Leute haben es nicht ernst genug genommen. Und es gab auch untereinander immer wieder Streitigkeiten und Auseinandersetzungen, die nicht gelöst werden konnten. So, deswegen sind die 3 Hauptpunkte von unserer Sanhedrin-Initiative ist Qualität. Wir legen sehr großen Wert auf Qualität, auf Einheit. Das heißt, dass man schaut, dass die Streitigkeiten beseitigt werden können und dass man, wie man vorher schon hatten, mehr dem höheren Zweck dient. Also nicht das, was man selber gerade für richtig hält, sondern das, was Gott sagt, was richtig ist. Und natürlich, dass der auf lange Zeit hin etabliert wird. These three points remind me personally also on our Nation of Ephraim project, because we also we said we want to have unity, especially the new covenant between Ephraim and Judah. So we need unity, and we're also planning for long term, because when we tell people 7 years ago, 8 years ago, about some things, so some of that we told, they are in reality now. So we saw in the future, of course, with reading the Bible and knowing some kind of what will happen, and we explain it, and most people can just believe what they see right now. They cannot think long term, and I think that this is good for we visited Shlomo Raskin 3 weeks ago. We also asked him to join the Sanhedrin, and what he said was, in Israel, if you cook something hot, it will burn, but if you cook it slowly, it will have permanence. So
interesting.
The same
idea.
Yes. So what was your position in the last Sanhedrin, and how do you see your position now? What is your main task?
Okay, so in the earlier Sanhedrin, I had no official position. It was part of my research into trying to figure out how to get the Sanhedrin off the floor. In other words, as I realized that the Sanhedrin is something extremely important, and you cannot build a temple, you cannot crown a king, officially, legally, properly, the right way. You cannot eradicate a Moloch in a normal situation. Now we're talking, the war right now is pikuach nefesh,
yes,
which pushes away the whole Torah. So you don't need permission from the Torah to protect the saving lives, life saving. You can even on Shabbat, there's no issue to save lives. You don't need the Torah at all, and the Torah is not in the way.
Yes.
The Torah is for life. So, as far as where I was when I was 17, when I was still in yeshiva in Brunois, France, that's when I started to really have enough information and be mature enough to understand how important the concept of Mashiach is.
Mm-hmm.
And how important it is, and what the global ramifications are. The Sanhedrin is only after a few years when I'm married here in Israel, I started to realize that the Sanhedrin is the first piece in the puzzle. Okay, we already had a conference in New York with Dr. Trepler, where we had Nadal, which is a Muslim, and Sean, which was like born a Christian at least. Now he's not necessarily identifies as a Christian, and myself and Rabbi Cohen from the United Nations. And this was our first conference we really started to develop this global look at the picture and the redemption, starting to see that it's not just a small community issue or a small redemption for even the Jewish people in Israel, but this is an international thing, and the kingdom of Hashem is greater than. If Mashiach is supposed to be the king of all the Jews, then Hashem has to be the king of the whole world. In other words, this is an international thing.
When was it? In 2016?
2016, we wrote. I think our. I have to check on Emin Global. It has all the dates. 2016. I think we made the conference. We may have also updated the 7 steps that we have on Emin Global. That we said that these 7 steps can bring us all the way to full Geula, as far as what we can do in this world and our part in the Geula, not including the miracles and the stuff that Hashem has to do.
Maybe we should show it.
We can, if you'd like to show the guys. Sure.
Let's show, and you know what he's talking about. So, second.
Okay, you can go to.
Second.
Yeah.
Just here.
So let's go.
One second.
Yeah.
I have to add here in the live stream. We also have to add this. 1 second. Okay, so now our Zoom members and also our live viewers should see this page.
Okay, so let's go to Sanhedrin, hover, and history.
History.
Yeah.
So this is the official mnglobal.com is the official website from Yosef Edery. Everyone who wants to join him, wants to check, wants to know anything about the Sanhedrin, what is going on, will find all the information on this page.
Yeah. Go.
This pop-up?
Yeah, the blue button. Okay, so introduction to the Sanhedrin explains the basic concept of good versus evil, justice, the basic stuff, and the history that we have of over 2,000 years, and how the Sanhedrin was in the temple, and so on. Let's go down. We say the closest thing was after World War II, the United Nations got together in order to try to minimize the wars and to try to resolve issues in a dialogue. So you see Rabbi Cohen with Nikki Haley, Nikki Haley, right?
Yeah.
And as well as Sean Lee here in the United Nations.
Yeah.
So these are Sean Lee and Rabbi Cohen are members of our group, our Mashiach Elite internal group, and this, of course, is very close to what the Sanhedrin should be. But of course, without proper halacha and an Orthodox Torah backing it up, it also has a very, very big chance of falling apart.
You mean the UN?
Yes, the UN's idea, the idea of the UN
okay.
of bringing people to talk instead of to fight.
Yes.
Of course, it's very painful when you see Khomeini or all these people, Saddam Hussein, all these people, they all come to the United Nations, but at the end of the day, it's better than if they have to kill 1 million people to make a statement.
Okay.
So the United Nations...
So, also wir sehen hier, das ist Sean Lee, der ist auch ein Advisor, und das ist Rabbi Cohen. So, der ist Gesandter bei der UN neben Nikki he's from the Sanhedrin.
He is the representative in the United Nations of the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Noach.
Ah, okay.
The Noahide representative to the United Nations, and he's also part of our first group, even before the Sanhedrin, which is the Mashiach Elite group.
Okay. Is he now an advisor?
Nicht.
Nicht, okay. Also er ist auf jeden Fall offizieller Botschafter bei den Vereinten Nationen für die 7 Gesetze Noahs. Also sowas gibt es auch bei den Vereinten Nationen. Hier ist Nikki Haley, die kennen ja viele schon. Und der Yosef meint, die Idee von den Vereinigten Nationen, dass man lieber redet, anstatt Krieg zu führen, die ist schon ziemlich ähnlich wie die des Sanhedrins. Nur fehlt denen natürlich die Grundlage von der Tora.
Yes. So let's go down. We see that Napoleon also had a great idea to make the Sanhedrin. He was against the kings in Europe, and his whole spiel was that he wanted to end the human corruption.
Okay.
And he saw the Sanhedrin as an extremely good idea.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he ended up, pursuing more and more wars.
Yes.
Instead of picking to do peace after his victories.
Yes.
And he didn't have chance to pursue the Sanhedrin, but he definitely was a man of strategy and rationale and looking for justice, ready to fight a fight for a good cause, I guess. He saw the corruptions in the kings of the nations, and he had a moment when he brought the Sanhedrin together, asked them questions, and he did this. There was 2 grand conferences that Napoleon himself arranged. One of them, I think he was there.
With French Jews or?
Jews from all over Europe.
From all over the world.
Yes.
Okay. Also Napoleon, der wollte auch mehr oder weniger den Sanhedrin etablieren, hat auch Konferenzen gemacht, hat Juden aus der ganzen Welt eingeladen. Und seine Idee war es eigentlich auch, die Könige aus Europa abzuschaffen. Hat natürlich ein bisschen dann übertrieben und nicht, wenn er Krieg geführt hat, dann Frieden gemacht, sondern immer weiter Krieg gemacht, und das war sein Fehler.
Yes, and so it's important to understand that the significance of the Sanhedrin was realized and recognized by strategic and world famous leaders, even in relatively recent history. 7 generations ago. Here we have in 2019. This is our conference in New York. We have here myself, Nadal, Dr. Trappler, Rabbi Cohen, and Sean Lee. This was our officially, I think, first or second, I'm not sure, because we also had another conference in Jerusalem with Dr. Trappler and Mendy Bas.
So this is in Jerusalem?
No, this is in New York.
Okay.
We had another conference as well with Dr. Trappler in Jerusalem a year before, a year after. In any case, this conference was unique because we had Nadal. Nadal is a Muslim and he's a religious, and he came, and we have the video. If you click the more details, you guys can check. We have the video where each of them speak for 5 minutes, and Nadal says that according to Islam, according to the Quran, the Muslims are supposed to help the Jews inhabit Israel. This is not being told by the radical terrorists.
Ja, also das ist auch eine sehr ganz interessante Information. Also auf diesem Bild hier sehen wir im Prinzip die erste mehr oder weniger Konferenz. Hier ist der Yosef, das ist Nadal, das ist hier Dr. Trappler, das ist der Botschafter von oben und nicht Stanley, Sean Lee. Und was interessant ist, er ist Moslem, ein religiöser Moslem. Jeder, der sich angucken möchte, was die gesagt haben, kann hier auf mehr Details klicken. Und er sagt, dass im Koran steht, dass die Moslems dem Volk Israel, den Juden, helfen sollen, das Land Israel zu besiedeln. Also sehr interessante Informationen, gerade jetzt, wo es hier im Krieg...
Hört man es nicht.
Yes.
Yeah, so Dr. Trappler is a psychiatrist and a psychologist, also a heart surgeon. The Rebbe told him to help in psychiatry the community in Crown Heights. So he was a heart surgeon before. He also worked for the United Nations on missions all over the world. Dr. Trappler wasn't religious in the beginning. He was Chazer B'Tshuva, but from a very young age, and he also
he was first doctor or first Baalei Tshuva?
First a doctor.
First a doctor, okay.
But is from South Africa. He was born in South Africa, and for many years he was in the Rebbe's offices. He was helping there, and he was involved in and he gave us and myself. I spent a lot of time with Dr. Trappler in Crown Heights. He spoke to me about a lot of the traditions and the secrets of what goes on in the offices of the Rebbe. This is the kind of stuff that my generation doesn't know. Okay, so Dr. Trepler has always helped with the vision of the things that we're doing all the way till today, and he's one of the founding members of our organization, which started off. Okay, so we have here Yosef advising Pharaoh and saving Pharaoh, saving the Egyptians from 7 years of hunger.
Yes.
And we have Daniel, advisor to Nebuchadnezzar, and we have Mordechai, the advisor to Achashverosh from the story of Purim, the Persian Empire.
Yeah.
And the Rambam was also the advisor and the doctor to the sultans here in Egypt. So we see a long line of advisors and Jewish advisors or Israel or Hebrew advisors in the places of government trying to push the narrative of the world in a good direction.
Ja,
Okay.
also hier sieht man nochmal ganz klar verschiedene Berater, die in den einzelnen Epochen, hier ist Josef beim Pharao, Daniel bei Nebukadnezar, Mordechai bei Achashverosh und der Rambam beim Sultan in Ägypten. Die hatten immer eine beratende Funktion und das zieht sich durch die ganze Geschichte.
Yeah, so for us it's important to understand this history, to understand how this is not, yes, it's something new, but at the end of the day, it's something that the world really, really needs.
Yes.
And it's a shame that, if they would take the Rambam more seriously, if Pharaoh would listen to Yosef a little bit better and not enslave the Jews 5 minutes later, so then it could be the world would be in a better place. In other words, it's very important for us to appreciate the need for the Sanhedrin.
So the three things you said: crowning a king,
Eradication of Amalek,
and building the temple.
Yeah.
This is from the Rambam.
This is from the Rambam's laws, yes.
Yes.
As well.
Also wir sehen hier, dass diese drei Sachen, die wir auch mit dem Sanhedrin verfolgen, also den König zu krönen, Amalek auszuradieren und den Tempel zu bauen, kommen aus dem Gesetz vom Rambam.
Yes.
Maimonides.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. This graphic we just put here as since the Ukraine war. The heaven and earth are witness, because the flag of Ukraine is the wheat that they grow, and the heaven. And as long as the Jewish people fulfill the Torah, we see that the revenge of the blood of the Jewish people spilled is being done. And this is, of course, not coming from a place of evil. It's just coming from a place that if the Geula is a realistic thing in this world, then Hashem has to heal the trauma for those who are following in the Torah's ways.
Okay, so you mean that one part of the Ukraine war was the good deeds and doing mitzvot from the Jewish people?
Yes and no. The Ukraine, unfortunately, throughout history has been known for one of the most highest anti-Semitism, even stronger than Germany, historically. And even Rabbi Nachman from Breslov was buried between two mountains of dead Jews. We're talking 7 generations ago.
He was living in Ukraine?
Yes. This is where Uman, where all the Hasidim go on Rosh Hashanah. They go to Uman. This is in Ukraine.
Okay.
And he was buried there because he said it's such a great merit to be buried between Jews that were killed al Kiddush Hashem, for the sake, to sanctify heaven. So Ukraine, unfortunately, also during the war, World War II and so on, was a place where many Jews were killed in a brutality that was very, very extreme. So today, when we come back to Israel and we're fulfilling the Torah and mitzvahs, and the Jewish people are strengthening the Shabbat and kosher and all the good things, and the kind of stuff that we're doing as well, the Sanhedrin. So we start to see that the heaven and earth are witness during Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah, that if the Jewish people fulfill the Torah, they themselves, heaven and earth themselves, will manifest the prophecies of Hashem in this world. So it's very interesting that the flag of Ukraine is almost like when the Jews go far away from Hashem, then the heaven and earth will rain down terror on the Jews. But when the Jewish people are going to do the Torah and the mitzvahs, so then Hashem will avenge the blood of his servants that were spilled and so on. And I think that with the war in Ukraine, we saw this happen, and we know, everybody knows exactly what kind of people were joining the war from the Ukrainian side and from the Russian side, and unfortunately we're talking about the grandchildren of the same people that probably, very high likely, and of course Hashem is the judge, were involved in the issues that we spoke about.
Yeah. Also hier sehen wir, Himmel und Erde sind Zeugen. Also wir haben ja natürlich den Himmel in Blau und den Weizen in Gelb, und das erinnert sehr stark an die Flagge von der Ukraine. Und es heißt halt, dass Himmel und Erde Zeugen sind, sowohl bei der Toragebung am Berg Sinai und auch immer, wenn die Leute, die die Tora bekommen haben, und das waren über die Jahrhunderte hauptsächlich das jüdische Volk, die wirklich sich dran gehalten haben, dass dann auch die Ukraine, die war sehr, sehr extrem antisemitisch über die Jahrhunderte hinweg, und dass die jetzt durch den Ukraine-Krieg ihre Abrechnung bekommen. So, das heißt, wenn die Kinder von Israel sündigen, dann kriegen die eins drauf, und wenn sie aber die Gebote halten, dann kriegen die Feinde eins drauf. And maybe we can switch from this war to maybe, as you say, closing statements. We can switch to the actual war. 1 second. So, and what do you personally think is the main purpose of this war right now going on in Israel, and where are we heading to?
Okay, so unfortunately, corrupt individuals in Israel and in the terrorist Hamas organization both have figured out a way to make money off the conflict here.
Yes.
So we know that up until before this war, Bibi Netanyahu specifically said that the Hamas is better than dealing with Iran itself. Better to deal with the proxy than to deal with the bigger players.
Yes.
Now, this is becoming clear that this was a terrible mistake, and this is terribly delusional. But there are some people in Israel that say that there's a sinister reason. The fact is, some people here are getting a lot of money from the United States, whether it's Israel. Some people are getting a lot of money for Hamas, for the Palestinian issue, or the Arabs in Gaza, basically. So this is becoming a reward for evil deeds. Okay. The reason I think that this war is happening is because of is the concept of azut. Azut is guts, like boldness, to go out and do things without thinking, without emotion, just because. And we need this kind of ruach, this kind of spirit, as we go into the temple building and the establishment of the Sanhedrin.
Yes, that's a good idea.
And the crowning of the Jewish king. We need this azut, and this is a spiritual battle. So far, every part of Israel is like a part of the Jewish body. Okay, and if a part of the body is corrupt, then we don't have the energy to do something else.
Yes, 1 second. Yep. So, also wir sehen hier, dass sowohl bestimmte Elemente in der israelischen Regierung als auch auf der Seite der Hamas und der Terroristen immer wieder es ist halt gut, Krieg zu führen, um Geld zu machen, die Geschäfte zu machen. Viele Menschen hier werden auch von Amerika bezahlt, und für gewisse Leute ist es halt gut, dieser Krieg, dass man halt den Krieg führt. So, von der spirituellen Seite, Gaza, oder wie es in Hebräisch heißt, Asa, kommt von Azut, und Azut heißt so viel wie Übermut. Das heißt, diesen Übermut, den die Palästinenser, die Terroristen haben, aus Asa raus den Terror zu bringen, diesen Übermut sollten wir eigentlich nutzen, um die Sachen zu machen, die nach Tora sind, den Sanhedrin zu bauen und die Gebote zu halten, genau mit dieser Eigenschaft.
Yeah, so I think that even though according to my little kleine cup, I thought that we're going to go in the order of the Rambam, and start with the Sanhedrin, go to the crowning of the king, then eradication of Amalek, and then building the temple, which is the normal order in a normal situation. But it seems like Hashem in this war showed us that we need to reunify the Jewish people. This is more important. This is one of the elements that came out of this war. And also eradicate Amalek first,
Yes.
before we can move on to the other things that we need to do.
Okay. Perfekt. Also, wie wir vor uns gelernt haben, die Reihenfolge maßgeblich vom Rambam war, den Sanhedrin zu errichten und dann den König zu krönen, Amalek auszuradieren und dann den Tempel zu bauen. Erst Amalek, damit er dann nicht kommt, den Tempel zu zerstören. Aber das, was wir gerade sehen, sieht so aus, dass Gott die Reihenfolge, zumindest die vom Rambam, ein bisschen durcheinander geschmissen hat und wir jetzt gerade die Ausradierung von Amalek schon mitleben.
Yes, so I think that we need to, because let's put it this way, Amalek in general is something that we need to deal with in order to secure Israel, right? But the way, if Amalek attacks when you're on the way, this is the nature of Amalek also.
Yes.
In other words, the nature of Amalek in the Torah is that you're trying to do one thing and he gets in the way.
Yes.
Because the more the Amalek, his trigger is when something good happens.
Yes.
So as Israel is trying to make peace with the Saudi Arabia and trying to make peace in the area, that's the trigger of Amalek. So as we try to build the Sanhedrin, as we try to continue the Geula process, Amalek cannot stand this and has to remind us that he also has to get paid for destruction.
Yeah.
So this is so on one hand, we're doing the right thing by starting with the Sanhedrin. On the other hand, Amalek is doing his stupidity,
Yes.
and we have to take a break from the Sanhedrin and focus now on the safety of the Jewish people and the world from radical terrorism, I guess.
Yes, and we also in the past we had that experience that whenever we did something good, that whenever we did something according to the Torah, some evil things happened to us. Either it was some bad person or something was destroyed and so on. And as you seen yesterday, you made the Torah club. And then you wanted to go home and your car was crashed, right? So, also die Eigenschaft von Amalek ist, wenn wir das in der Tora lesen, wenn das Volk Israel auf dem Weg ist, immer auf dem Weg irgendwo hin und jetzt hat halt Amalek von hinten angegriffen. Das heißt, die Eigenschaft, die Amalek eigentlich ausmacht, ist, wenn die Kinder Israels das Richtige tun, wie zum Beispiel jetzt der Frieden, die Abraham-Accords mit Saudi-Arabien Frieden schließen und so weiter. Und wenn wir den Sanhedrin aufbauen, dann kommt Amalek uns immer in den Weg, weil das einfach sein Job ist und erinnert uns daran, da war noch was, wir müssen Amalek vernichten. But at least we know we're on the
right track, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then last question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the concept, I think, as we wrote it somewhere in the fundraise, I think the concept of Amalek is baseless hatred, right?
Yes.
What do you think about the connection between speaking Lashon Hara and baseless hatred?
Okay, so in Judaism, speech is a very, very important thing. Hashem created the world in Asara Ma'amarot, in 10 commands, okay? And prayer is a very, very important part of a Jewish person's life. To pray 3 times a day if he can, to the best of his ability, with a minyan if he can, to get in a shul if he can. And speech is, we have a famous story of, a guy fell asleep and all his body parts were trying to get him out of jail. And the tongue said, I can get him in jail and I can get him out of jail. So when he stood in front of the king, the mouth said something stupid, and the king threw him in jail.
Yes.
And then when he was in jail, he apologized correctly, and he said the right thing, and they took him out of jail. So even though the tongue is the smallest part of the body, he can do He can do, this. And the mouth, and when we speak, we're expressing ourselves.
Yes.
We're expressing our mind, our heart. We're expressing everything that we have inside. Comes through the mouth. This is our vessel to expression. So to Am Yisrael is the expression in this world is Hashem. Hashem's expression in this world is what we do.
Yes.
The Bnei Noach and the children of Israel. So because Hashem is not seen here, we have to show the world. So lashon hara, talking gossip, talking garbage against other people. We really, really, really have to think. The only time we can talk garbage about other people is if it's for our own safety, or if we're trying to save others. But we really, really, really don't want to be in a negative space ever. We don't want to feed off of negative energy. It only comes back to hurt us. It harms the person who's speaking. It harms the person we're talking about, and it harms the people who are hearing as well.
Yes.
So really, 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 we should try not to speak lashon hara. And your question again, the second part?
The connection with the baseless hatred. So
sinat chinam, of course, baseless hatred. What does it mean, baseless? Baseless is, like we said, Yishmael and the brothers of Yosef. They hated Yosef because he was successful. They hated Yishmael, hated Yitzchak because he saw that Yitzchak was successful. When we say baseless, it means there's no good reason to hate him. So what if your friend is doing a little better? You know?
Yes.
So what if your friend is a little bit more successful? Wait, be patient, work hard, go ask him a few tips, and maybe he can help. You can join his business, and he'll take you to the next level. But to hate someone because he's doing good, Amalek hates the Jews not because they're doing anything bad, but because they're doing something good.
Yes.
Lashon hara, again, lashon hara can be confused sometimes, because if you're talking to save someone's life, you're allowed to say the bad things hey, be careful, my friend here, he wants to kill you,
Yes.
He's coming here with a gun, stay away. This is lashon hara, but it is for saving lives. But to talk negatively, it puts a person in a bad space. Again, we have to remember. And what's the connection? These are the negative traits: jealousy, which brings us to talking lashon hara, which brings us to destroying the good things in this world. And Alex, I just want to share one small story. I know you have to translate half this, but when I was in yeshiva, I saw that some students were making a very, very short 15 minutes. They want to learn Tanya before prayer, Hasidic, Kabbalah. And I said, this 15 minutes for one page it's impossible. You can only read it, but you cannot understand it. And I was complaining this to one of the other rabbis. So the other rabbi said, look, what they're doing is better than nothing. It's a good thing. I said, yes. He said, okay, leave it alone. If it's a good thing, don't attack it. Don't tear it down. Yes. And this is the same concept. Amalek has this issue. He's jealous, and we know the jealousy is in the Ten Commandments. He's jealous, and then he brings him to lashon hara, which brings him to destroy all the good in this world.
Yes.
This is why we have to be careful from all these things: jealousy, lashon hara, and sinat chinam, of course.
Okay. Also, wie jeder wissen sollte, über andere Leute zu sprechen, sollte man nicht tun, weil es zum einen den verletzt, der es spricht, über den man es spricht, und wenn man es jemandem Dritten erzählt, auch noch der es hört. So, und die Zunge, wie selbst das Neue Testament sagt, ist das kleinste Glied, aber das steuert halt irgendwie deinen ganzen Körper. So, und er hat eine kleine Geschichte erzählt. Da war jemand im Gefängnis und die Zunge sagt halt gute Sachen, entschuldigt sich, kommt raus, und vor Gericht wieder böse Sachen, kommt wieder rein. Das heißt, die Zunge ist entscheidend, die Sprache, weil Gott hat die Welt erschaffen durch Sprechen, und genauso wie man betet, ist alles, also die Sprache hat sehr viel Kraft. So, und dieser grundlose Hass, zum Beispiel von Amalek, der rührt aus der Eifersucht heraus, aus Neid, was auch das 10. Gebot ist. Und zum Beispiel, wir sehen das bei Ishmael und Isaak, dass Ishmael den Isaak bedrängt hat oder gehasst hat, einfach weil er es richtig gemacht hat, genauso wie Jakob den Esau den Jakob gehasst hat, einfach nur, weil Jakob was richtig gemacht hat. So, und diese Phänomen, die
Yosef,
Yosef.
sein Bruder.
Yosef und seine Brüder zum Beispiel, sehen wir das auch. Und is this a punishment also for the Jews or the people of Israel, that they speak Lashon Hara, that we have this situation now?
The Rebbe always told us not to be the lawyer of Hashem when he's punishing the Jewish people. In other words,
Okay.
we should never try to say that, because the Jews did this and this and that, then we should feel guilty and this and this and that.
Okay.
No. The Rebbe would only encourage us to be positive in a
Yes.
time. Anyone who can strengthen his service of Hashem. Each and every individual. Some people, for them, Lashon Hara, they never speak Lashon Hara. Some people, they speak Lashon Hara, they can't stop. They cannot stop. So some people, let's say there's girls, women, they don't dress tzniut, they don't dress modestly. Some people, they want to keep kosher. Some people, they want to study more Torah. So each person, wherever he's holding, in a time of war, when there's et sarahi liYaakov, when there's a time of suffering and pain for Jacob, and umimeno yivashea, and from it Hashem will save us.
Yes.
We need to strengthen ourselves with more merits. The mitzvahs protect us in a spiritual and physical way. So every single one of us, of course, Lashon Hara, we should stop, and we should be in unity and ahavat chinam. And every one of us, wherever he feels that he has an issue, definitely over there he should fix. But to say, I don't want to open my mouth and say that Hashem punished us because of this and this and that. We also know that even when we have negative prophecies in the Torah, if the Jewish people do teshuvah very quickly, then the prophecy is null and void, is cancelled. Only the good prophecies, they stand, we hold them against Hashem, and they stand forever. And this is why we can bet that the Geula is very close, because we know that Hashem will fulfill his prophecies to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And in regarding the negative prophecies and the curses for the issues that we have, then of course we can do teshuvah and fix it as soon as possible, each one of us in his Platz.
Okay. So, dann können wir damit abschließen. Ich hole schon mal den Patrick rein. Vielleicht gibt es noch ein paar Fragen von den YouTube-Zuschauern und vielleicht noch zwei kleine Stories, die er erzählt hat zum Abschluss. Er war mal in der Yeshiva und dann haben ein paar Jungs Tanja gelernt und wollten das eine Seite in 15 Minuten und er sagt halt, ja, man kann das vielleicht in 15 Minuten lesen, aber man kann halt niemals in 15 Minuten das verstehen. So, und dann hat er sich ein bisschen beschwert bei seinem Rabbi und er hat gesagt, pass auf, solange die was Gutes tun, lass sie. Auch wenn es nur klein ist, aber lass sie. So, und der Rebbe hat immer gesagt, sei niemals der Anwalt von Gott in der Zeit, wo es dem Volk Israel schlecht geht. Denn es ist immer schwer zu beurteilen, woran liegt das jetzt, dass Gott uns bestraft, an dem und dem und dem und dem, sondern man sollte sich auf die positiven Sachen konzentrieren, jemanden ermutigen, noch eine Mitzvah mehr zu tun, seine schlechten Charaktereigenschaften zu verbessern und genau. Patrick, gibt es Fragen von unseren Live-Zuschauern?
Nein, leider nicht. Ich soll auf jeden Fall trotzdem schöne Grüße von Norbert bestellen. Der hat sich im Chat geäußert und der Olli hat auch ein schönes Shalom geschickt, aber es sind keine Fragen derzeit im Chat gewesen.
Okay, so we have no questions in the chat. I will also invite all the Zoom members. Maybe they have some questions.
Patrick, I guess we spoke so clearly that there's no questions on.
Yeah. So we did a good job.
I guess.
So, wenn jemand jetzt von den Zoom-Teilnehmern jetzt noch Fragen hat oder vielleicht etwas anmerken möchte, dann wäre jetzt die Zeit. Hallo Hubert.
Hallo, Shalom. Ja, ich hätte da eine Frage jetzt gerade zu dieser Zeit. Es ist Krieg. Israel führt Krieg, die Juden führen Krieg, ne, und Kämpfe und sowas waren es schon immer, auch in der Tora. Ne. ziehe 7-mal um Jericho oder die und die Stadt, ne, vollziehe den Bann. Ne, und da wird es doch auch schon einen Sanhedrin oder die Ältesten gegeben haben. Und die werden ja immer was gesagt haben zu den einzelnen Kriegen. Ne? Und jetzt ist die Verbindung eben zu heute. Warum kriegen die Rabbis denn das nicht hin, da eine positive Stellung oder überhaupt eine Stellungnahme, so als Sanhedrin, ne? Ja, dieser Krieg ist gerecht, oder dieser Krieg ist ungerecht. Ne? Wo, wo, wo liegt da der Haken drin oder der Wurm drin? Das würde mich interessieren.
You understood? So he said, even in the time when Yehoshua, they captured Jericho and they made wars, and there was always some kind of Sanhedrin, and they supported, of course, that war. So where's the connection today? Where is the statements of the rabbi that this war is okay?
That's a very good question, Hubert. Thank you so much. I did make an official statement on some of my channels, and me personally as advisor, that we're taking a small break from the Sanhedrin initiative, so to speak, and focusing our energy to support the soldiers and to support the police and the law enforcement. As far as the financials that are connected to the Sanhedrin initiative and so on. As far as making an official statement to the government and telling them that this is an Amalek situation, I also spoke about this specifically, but I did not, I guess, make an official statement to, or the Sanhedrin initiative did not make an official statement to the government. And Hubert, as president of the nation of Ephraim, the heirs of Jacob, would definitely will put something together as soon as possible and make an official statement and send them to the correct people, because it is important that we move on. And this is also why it was a very big question for us, Hubert, if to do the conference that happened when the war broke out, the JETZT conference. But at the end we decided we're going to do it anyway, because we figured that the Sanhedrin needs to be in session and give direction in a wartime as well. So in this spirit, we will hopefully put together a letter of recommendation, and I will discuss this halachically with Rabbi Chayak, Rabbi Tzvi Idan, Rabbi David Bar Chaim, and some of the other rabbis, and give a comprehensive halachic statement to the Prime Minister of Israel, the President of Israel, and the Minister of Defense, Interior, and of the Army. No problem.
This is a good thing, but I think he meant all the rabbis, not specifically you.
Not specifically me. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
This is.
Where's the cry out from the rabbis? That's I think what he meant.
I think okay. I don't know. But I don't know if Kenish Zagen Farvas, all the rabbis of nicht gesagt etwas. Many rabbis did come out and promote this. Of course, it's a very dangerous time to speak, because you don't want to be targeted, okay, in middle of a war. So that's maybe one of the reasons why technically some of the rabbis may have preferred to speak their mind, face to face, when they meet the soldiers, when they meet the commanders, when they meet the prime minister. I trust fully that the rabbis of Israel are totally in the ear of the prime ministers and of the military. As far as making an official statement, that's a little bit more dangerous for one specific person. That's why I say that I'd be happy to gather all the rabbis of the Sanhedrin initiative and put out one statement together from our organization as one. I think this would be the most professional and correct way to do so.
Okay. War das verständlich, Hubert? Hast du das
Also,
verstanden?
Ja,
Translate,
aber ich
translate.
weiß nicht, ob das für die Zuschauer verständlich ist.
Okay.
Also, ich muss also auch mal nachfragen. Eigentlich ging es doch darum, unterstützen die Rabbiner den gerechten Krieg.
Ja.
Habe ich das jetzt richtig verstanden?
Wen fragst du?
Oh,
Dich frage.
He is asking Hubert.
Ja, oder wo ist die Entscheidung des Sanhedrins? Ne? Das ist ja nun ein Gericht. Ne? Ja, der Krieg ist da, aber wir sollten uns so und so verhalten. Oder ja, wir unterstützen voll die Sache Israels und der Juden. Oder ja, bis zu einem gewissen Punkt und dann müssen wir wieder mit den Palästinensern auskommen. Ne? So ein Statement.
Naja, so ein Ding gibt es erstmal nicht, aber was halt der Josef sagte, dass quasi die Rabbiner im Hintergrund in den Ohren vom Premierminister von allen Leuten drin hängen. Also die wissen ganz genau, was derzeit Phase ist. So, und Amalek wird ausgerottet. Hamas no more.
Genau. Der einzige Grund, warum das wahrscheinlich nicht öffentlich geschieht oder die Leute den Kopf rausstecken, ist nach dem, was der Josef sagt, weil die wirklich teilweise Angst haben und weil es eine gefährliche Situation ist, innerhalb eines Krieges solche Statements zu machen. Aber wie der Ulf schon gesagt hat, im Hintergrund sind sich die meisten einig und im Hintergrund wird das auch so besprochen.
And you tell her also that what we plan on doing, we're going to ask all the rabbis to.
Und der Josef, der hat schon, you have already some kind of a statement you said on your website?
No, specifically for the war,
No.
not yet, but I would like to gather
Yeah.
personally from all the rabbis, tell them to put together
Yes.
halachic material from the Torah and put it out as a psak din, as a Jewish halachic.
Ja. Also der Josef wird versuchen, alle Rabbis zu erreichen, alle, die in der Sanhedrin-Initiative drin sind, um dann gemeinsam nach Halacha ein Schriftstück herauszugeben und das dann auch möglichst zur Regierung offiziell, so offiziell wie möglich einzureichen. Das ist geplant, das wird die Zukunft sein.
I think in this case, perhaps Joseph, we should explain a bit what we talked about together with Gadi, from India, from Base Israel International, because with now international partners who are based on the Torah, I mean there is currently really an international network forming, which can be used to petition the government, your local government, with the EFI card, So with the EFI card, walk into your local office, hey, Prime Minister, you have to fight against anti-Semitism.
So we'll give a recap for today. Me and Ulf had the Israel United new video series that we started as well. To bring on special people and talk about specific topics that the Sanhedrin advisors would like to address. Our latest, thank you. What about you? Okay. So as of late, we have it's okay. As of late, we have added the India community. This is a recent development of the last few days. Gadi has hundreds of families in India that he's been teaching Torah as well, similar to Ulf, and we're very, very happy to have him join us. And as Ulf just said, the Sanhedrin Initiative and the ultra-Orthodox Noahide Efi movement is becoming more and more consolidated, and definitely should be taken seriously by government bodies like Israel and so on. Be'ezrat Hashem. You want to say, Ulf? You want to tell them in German? Teich.
Ja, kann ich machen. Also durch diese Geschichte, dadurch wird das jetzt alles mehr zusammengefasst. Also wir haben halt auch jetzt über die besondere Position der Botschaft als tatsächliche Ephraim-Botschaft, ne, in Israel, ne, gesprochen. Weil so der Gadi, so das ist ein Typ, der kommt eigentlich ursprünglich aus dem Hinduismus. So ist aber seit 25 Jahren oder was mit der Tora involviert und hat irgendwann gelesen, nee, pass auf, da kommt halt die Zeit, da werden die Nationen ihre Offerings zu Hashem nach Jerusalem bringen. Und er wollte sagen, okay, wir werden uns darauf vorbereiten, wir werden uns halt, wir müssen alles unternehmen, dass wir, wenn das Königreich Gottes kommt, dass wir mit dabei sind. So, also hat er halt Base International, Base Israel International gegründet. So basierend auf Leiterschaft, das heißt, die gehen geradeaus überall in Indien und gucken, okay, wer ist da und kann Leiterschaftspositionen übernehmen, Leute ausbilden, lehren, ausbilden und so weiter und so fort. So, dann haben sie Base Jakob. So, das ist deren University, wo sie den Leuten chassidisch, ultra-orthodox Chassidim beibringen. Also it's absolutely perfect. Ultra-orthodox Chassidim.
Noahide.
So. All right, yeah, Indians. And of course, now they have also a Beit Ephraim synagogue, because they themselves says, okay, you know, because we're not Jewish, we belong to the Ben Joseph, and we count ourselves to the tribe of Ephraim.
Ulf, can you tell them about specifically? I think it was important what he discussed about plans for education for the kids of the Bnei
Yes.
Noach. This is, I think, because the Bnei Noach should, because when a Bnei Noach wants to get married, when the kids need to be educated, you don't want to send them to a Christian
Yes.
university or to a Christian college or to a Muslim or whatever, or public school. You want to send them to a Noahide, academy. And hopefully, once we and we spoke about that we should go to the airports and give Effie cards to all the guys who work there, and we should make a new Effie card for Jewish people as well and give it to them, and then tell them that anyone who comes with this card, just know that he's part of our team. Just know that he's from the Friends of the Jews. He's part of the Noahide community, and he should have no issues when he's coming there. They have to check for terrorists. Today it's very hard when you have people coming from the nations, when they see someone from Germany, they don't know where he's holding, who he is, what he is. It's very hard to tell from a Bnei Noach or a guy from India. They all look the same. But they're out derselbe. But if they have the Effie card, then they can recognize this. Then they know that these are from the alliance, from the allies of the Jewish people. This can make it much easier for everyone to come to Israel, to study the Torah, to visit, to come to the conferences. Like we had a lot of fun in the last few conferences, Baruch Hashem. So.
Okay, ich versuche das mal ganz kurz zusammenzufassen, worum es geht halt. Es geht tatsächlich, da wir jetzt halt gesagt haben und uns alle unterstellt haben, der Tora, okay, hat das halt profunde Auswirkungen auf unsere sozialen Sachen. Wie sieht das aus mit Heirat? Und so weiter und so fort mit Businesses. Und das heißt, du möchtest halt überall weltweit, möchtest du halt Communities haben, die halt dieser Halacha unterstehen. So, und deswegen ist es halt total wichtig, dass die halt schon über Curriculum nachgedacht haben. Also nicht nur, wie das aussehen muss, für so jemanden, der aus der Nation kommt, für so einen Inder und so, So, wie muss das also aussehen? Was muss der lernen? Wie sieht die Basis aus? Und wie wird das an die Kinder weitergegeben? Ja? So, und da ist halt diese Kiste, halt unsere Kiste mit der EFI-Card ist halt mega cool. Ja? So, jetzt kommt halt noch raus, dass der Typ aus Hyderabad ist. Hyderabad. Irgendwo im Süden von Indien. Okay, und zwar genau im IT-Zentrum neben Bangalore. Das heißt, alle westlichen Firmen inklusive SAP, die unterhalten genau in der Gegend ihre riesengroßen Programmier- und Servicezentren. Ja, also hier HBSC, hier die großen Banken oder so, die haben tausende Telefonsupporter, ne, unten in der Ecke sitzen. Hello sir, how can I help you with my problem? Yes, I'm George from Texas.
This is
Of
Tiki
course.
Masala from India. How can I help you? Yes.
What are you talking about? How can I help you? So, best seen in Transformers. You know, yes, sir. Yes. What's your credit card number? Okay. All inside jokes. Sorry. Okay. So they're coming from a very highly sophisticated area of India. And now Gadi is a project manager for stock market listed companies. So they're doing his project, and some of the project they did was to create a software for trading exchange for stock market. So he's the perfect guy for our complete management, you know, everything what we said. And I basically said, okay, this is our next development, FEID, all right, with an RFID chip. And we already told this to everybody, the FE card will have an upgrade. Now, the biometrical data on that chip will be enough to overstep a border, especially to Israel. Now, the FEID combined with the digital ID over our Aleph app, you know our project, somebody suddenly disappeared to the, okay, we don't want to go into this, you know. Yeah. So anyhow, so our Aleph,
okay.
now a digital ID matched with the EFI card, but also matched with your trust account and how much gold and silver you have in there. So these are the two most important security measures we can have, you know, as EFIs. When you know, okay, you know, I have, I'm identified and listed now with the Sanhedrin, yeah, meaning, yes, the bearer of the card submitted to Jewish law to the final decision what's coming out of Jerusalem. It's our free human right to do so. We told everybody, you know. So, and that, of course, it's a technicality now to match your personal ID with the gold and silver you have now stored in Jerusalem, because it is part of our freedom of religion. So now I'm already talking German, no, English. Of course, it's our freedom of religion, you know, to exchange. Es gehört zu unserer Religionsfreiheit natürlich, 3-mal im Jahr hochzugehen nach Jerusalem. So, und letztes Mal, und das haben wir jetzt gemacht, so den 10. im Land in Silber umzutauschen, nach Jerusalem zu bringen und ihr wisst schon, eine Party zu feiern mit Booze und Barbecue und so weiter und so fort. So, das heißt, es ist nur eine Technicality, die FEID-Karte mit deinem digitalen Profil zu verbinden, was gleichzeitig deine Informationen zu deinem Trust-Account hat. So, das sind nur 2 Tabellen im Programmieren. Ich meine, das ist total easy. Ich habe halt mit Gadi darüber gesprochen, sagt er, klar kann er das machen. Natürlich. Als Projektleiter. So, da gibt es auch tausende kleine Inder, die freuen sich, ihr könnt euch das gar nicht glauben, deswegen war ich hier in Indien. Die freuen sich zu arbeiten. Die arbeiten unter Umständen, Leute, keiner würde so arbeiten, Alter. Die sitzen an einem 3 Meter Tisch, sitzen 5 Leute.
Oh, you've been there.
Yes. I've been there, done it, and I got the T-shirt. I was in Punjab, no, in Patiala, and then I visited some programmers in New Delhi and made a complete India tour on the top of the mountains of the, you know, up on Himalaya.
Oh, did you go to mikveh in the river over there?
But I was exactly at the point. I was exactly at the point which comes down from the Ganges, where the yogis are sitting, and wait. So, and I saw, so all the Indian guys are coming, burying their dead, washing, and so on and so on and so on. So it's quite fascinating.
Why does the water in India look so brown? I mean, it looks scary.
Okay, now when it comes down directly from the Himalaya, it's not brown. It's like freaking cold.
Okay.
Because it comes from 4,000, 5,000 meter height. It's melting water, and now comes down into the
Mudslide.
Yeah, now in the valley, the foothills of the Himalaya. And this is where the place they start all washing and, burying their dead and lighting up their candles and so on and so on.
All right, Alex. Am I dismissed? Or am I supposed to hang here for the...
No, we can...
but they have
questions before we...
They're waiting for the Son of Man, Joseph. They're waiting for the Son of Man. I mean, when you see this little blue guy, the little ruler, Krishna, okay? So Krishna is the manifestation, if you like from Om. So there, Om is basically the unseeable, all-including force. And then you have basically, incarnations, in various levels, like trees or something.
And the cows, right?
But
right.
But the guy, so the blue guy, so he is like everybody waits for the blue guy, Krishna. So anyhow, so you come there to the Ganges, and there is this huge high statue from some guy. So he wears a three, like a spear of Neptune, but it's actually like a shin. And then he wears a snake around and like a little stash. And that's it. So basically it's a Son of Man, sent from heaven with a shin. And so in various mythologies, the little blue guy shows up, What can I say? So, but in a way, it's like Daniel 7:13, the Son of Man. Somebody is coming, with the clouds of heaven.
I told you that the main difference I saw personally, the difference between Gadi and you as leaders of big groups of Bnei Noach that are studying Torah, is that as I told you, Gadi is very happy that his people are, on the right path to the truth, and because of the amount of idol worship and options that the people in India have, he's just happy that they're on the right path. But Ulf is on the right path and also has some plans to, that are connected to the Geula. So that's extra points over there.
Yes.
Actually, I told this to him, I said, there in the meantime, there are over 1.2 billion Indian guys. And most of them are Hindis and whatnot, so that one guy comes out of these hundreds of millions of people and he follows the path of Torah. I mean, this is definitely special.
Yes, it's extremely special, and we're happy to have him as a Sanhedrin advisor, and hopefully in our next shows we will talk to him. So this was the first show with the origin of the Sanhedrin initiative. So is there anyone left who has a direct question to Joseph now?
In German also, we can translate, ask them in German.
Yes, also hat jetzt jemand noch eine Frage, ganz spezielle Frage an den Josef?
No.
Okay. Dann bedanken wir uns bei den Zuschauern, bei den Live-Zuschauern draußen auf YouTube, Facebook. Besucht uns hier, kommt zu zion5777.com.
Torah Club is having a facelift. We just added a new video to Torah Club on the homepage. You guys can check it out. Maybe we can show it to the guys. What do you think?
Torah Club?
Yeah.
Generated, AI generated.
AI generated. Me and Christian work together on prompting AI for the right answer to a few basic questions, and as well as having a voiceover of this question in AI. And we used stock footage to create this video. We have another 6 videos like this, because when we come to the Torah Club, we want to be able to prove. They see this as well?
No, 1 second.
1 second. They want to be able to. We want them to be able to see. Was is Torah? Was is the club? Das heißt the community. The how do you say community?
Gemeinschaft.
The Gemeinschaft. And für was ist es also wichtig zu machen es heint, wenn social media is also bans people. How do you say? Nimmt Menschen heraus, because of the banning and all the issues. Here we have a place where we can study Torah. So here let's show you guys the first high quality video that we have as a promo to explain what is the Torah. They hear the voice. You guys hear?
The Torah is the center.
Ein Minute, just volume. Ein Minute. Okay.
And most sacred.
Noch einmal.
The Torah is the central and most sacred text in Judaism. It consists of the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, known as the Old Testament. The 5 books of the Torah are Genesis. This book includes stories of the creation of the world, the patriarchs and matriarchs, and the early history of the Jewish people. Exodus tells the story of the Israelites' liberation from slavery in Egypt, the receiving of the 10 Commandments, and their journey in the wilderness. Leviticus contains laws and rituals related to priestly duties, sacrifices, and holiness. It also outlines ethical and moral guidelines. Numbers. This book records the census of the Israelites, their travels through the wilderness, and various events and laws. Deuteronomy contains speeches and sermons delivered by Moses to the Israelites on the plains of Moab, just before they enter the Promised Land. It includes a restatement of many laws and ethical teachings. The Torah is considered the foundation of Jewish law, ethics, and religious practice. It is studied, revered, and followed by Jews and mankind worldwide, and plays a central role in synagogue worship and Jewish life. Additionally, the Torah is read publicly during weekly synagogue services, with the entire text being completed over the course of a year in a cycle known as the annual Torah reading cycle.
So yeah, this is the video, and we plan on putting out was ist Torah, was ist die Unterschied zwischen der Bible und der Torah. Wir wollen machen klar ein paar Sachen, so that wenn Menschen sehen Torah Club und sie sehen Moshe auf dem Berg Sinai und sie trachten, das ist unser Moment zu nehmen die Torah, our moment to accept the Torah, our moment, our Mount Sinai moment, and we have the social media community, nicht nur for Germans and English. We want to have it international. Alle Menschen von ganz Welt können wissen. Jeder Rabbiner, jeder Mensch, was will lernen Torah can kommen und lernen und it's not like YouTube where they can ban them, wie sagt man, yeah? Or
Yeah.
Facebook.
Spannend.
Yeah, is we hope that it should be. We want to bring the Torah Club to a professional, international level where
Yes.
everyone can feel that this is the right place and this is a place that it's worth investing in, time, energy, effort, and so on. Bezat Hashem.
Also, Dankeschön
Alright.
und ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Did you like it?
Yeah, it's cute.
Perfect. So, dann sehen wir uns morgen wieder. Bis später.